There are things about money that nobody ever explained to you, not because they're complicated, because the people who understand them have no reason to teach you. You were given the surface. Work hard, save, be patient. Kind advice. Useless advice, because underneath it runs a darker set of rules, the ones the wealthy actually play by. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. You'll finally understand why some people struggle their entire lives, while others barely seem to try and pull ahead. It was never about effort. It was about knowing the rules of a game you didn't even know you were playing. There are 7 of these truths. Most people never hear a single one. Machiavelli said the world is governed by very different hands than the ones most men imagine. So let's look at the hands. Welcome to Wealth Decoded, the first dark truth. Money is not earned, it's positioned. You were taught that money is a reward for effort. Work harder, earn more. If that were true, the hardest working people on earth would be the richest. They're not. They're the most exhausted. Money doesn't flow to effort. It flows to position. The man standing where the money passes gets wet. The man working hard in the wrong spot stays dry forever. Picture 2 equally talented people. One opens a shop in a dying town. The other opens the same shop where the crowd already walks. Same effort, same skill. Only one gets rich, and it was decided before either of them worked a single day. A mediocre business in a booming market beats a brilliant one in a dead field. Position beats effort. Almost every time. The wealthy don't ask how hard should I work. They ask where should I stand? And once you understand position, the next truth explains who arranged the room. The second dark truth. The system needs you broke. This one is uncomfortable, so sit with it. An economy runs on people who spend everything they earn, who borrow to fill the gap, who work jobs they would quit the moment they had a real choice. A population of owners would break the machine. So the machine doesn't produce owners. It produces consumers. Every ad, every payment plan, every whisper of "you deserve it" is engineering. Not a cartoon villain, just design. Look at how much money is spent teaching you to spend, and how little teaching you to own. That gap is not an accident. Machiavelli understood that every system protects itself first. The system was never built to make you rich. It was built to keep you useful. And useful and free are not the same thing. Where did this training begin? The next truth points straight at it. The third dark truth. School trained you to be an employee. Think about what you actually learned there. Follow instructions. Don't question. Raise your hand. Wait for the bell. Get the grade. Perfect training. For a worker, terrible training for an owner. You spent years mastering obedience and 0 minutes on how money actually behaves. Not selling. Not ownership. Not leverage. Not a single one of the things that quietly buy freedom. Ask yourself, when did anyone ever teach you how debt works, or how the wealthy pay less tax, or how to make $1 produce another? Never. Why? Because a system that runs on employees does not teach independence. Machiavelli said men are trained to serve long before they're old enough to notice. The classroom wasn't a conspiracy in a dark room. It was a factory, and it built exactly what it was designed to build. Which means the rules you carry may not even be yours. Now pause. Think about everything you were taught about money growing up. Was any of it from someone who actually had it? One word, because most of us inherited our money rules from people who were quietly losing the game themselves. The fourth dark truth. Debt is not a product. It's a leash. They sell it to you as convenience. Buy now, pay later. Easy monthly payments. It feels like freedom. It's the exact opposite. Because every payment you owe is a chain to a job you can't afford to leave. Debt doesn't just cost you money, it costs you options. Picture the man who finally wants to quit the job that's crushing him. Then he remembers the car payment, the card, the plan, and he sits back down. He isn't held by the job, he's held by the payments. The man with debt can't take the risk, can't walk away, can't say no. He is not free, no matter what he earns, and the system loves him for it. Machiavelli said, "The surest way to control a man is through his needs." Create the need, offer the relief, and you own him quietly. That's not a credit card. That's a leash with a logo. So if debt is the trap, what does the other side actually do differently? The fifth dark truth. The rich don't work for money. Money works for them. This is the line everyone repeats, and almost nobody truly understands. The poor and the middle class trade their life for money. The wealthy buy things that make money without them. That is the entire divide in one sentence. One sells hours, the other buys assets that print hours back. And here's the part that stings. It's not about how much you make. It's about what you do with the first dollar you keep. Spend it, and it's gone forever. Deploy it, and it becomes a soldier that brings more back. Picture your money not as something you spend, but as a small army you send out to capture more. Most people execute their own soldiers the moment they arrive. The wealthy send theirs to work while they sleep. Same dollars, opposite orders. But even the right orders mean nothing if you're waiting for someone else to give them. The sixth dark truth. Nobody is coming to save you. No raise, no lottery, no perfect moment, no mentor riding in at the last second. This is the truth people avoid the most because it quietly removes every excuse you own. If nobody is coming, then it's on you. And that is terrifying. It's also the most freeing thing you will ever accept, because the moment you stop waiting to be rescued, you start to build. Think about how much of your life is spent quietly waiting for the promotion, for things to calm down, for the right time. All of it is waiting for a rescue that was never scheduled. Machiavelli had no patience for men who waited on fortune to be kind. He said fortune favors those who seize her, not those who beg her. The cavalry isn't coming over the hill. You are the cavalry. That's not bad news. That's the news that changes everything, the second you accept it. Pause again. Be honest with yourself. Somewhere inside, are you still waiting? For the break, the sign, the perfect time? One word. Because that quiet wait might be the single most expensive thing you own. The seventh dark truth. Money reveals you. It does not change you. Everyone believes money will fix them. Give a fearful man money, and you get a fearful man with far more to lose. Give an empty man money, and you get an empty man in a much bigger house. Give a disciplined man a little, and watch it grow into a lot. Money is a magnifier. It takes whatever is already there and makes it louder. That's why some people rebuild fortunes after losing everything, and others destroy fortunes they were simply handed. The lottery winner broke in 3 years, and the bankrupt man rich again in 5 were never about luck. They were about who was holding the money. The number was never the point. The person holding it was. So the work was never only about getting money. It was about becoming someone that money cannot break. So there they are, the 7 truths nobody sat you down to explain. Money is positioned, not earned. The system needs you spending. School built an employee. Debt is a leash. The rich buy assets, not things. Nobody is coming. And money only reveals who you already are. None of these are taught because none of them are convenient. The comfortable version keeps you working quietly. The true version sets you free. but only if you can handle actually holding it. And here's what ties all 7 together. Every one of these truths moves the power from out there to in here. The system, the school, the debt, the waiting. They all whisper the same soothing lie. That your situation is simply happening to you. It isn't. It's happening around you. And you get to decide how you stand inside it. Machiavelli said the man who sees reality as it is, not as he wishes it were, is the one who eventually rules it. Comfortable lies keep you a piece on the board. Hard truths hand you the board itself. Most people choose the lie because the truth demands something of them. So what do you do with all of this? You stop consuming the surface and start studying the game underneath. Learn where money is positioned and move toward it deliberately. Refuse the leash before it ever clips on. Take your first kept dollar and give it a real job. Stop waiting for a rescue that was never scheduled. And above all, work on the person, because that's what every single number eventually magnifies. You don't need anyone's permission to start. You don't need more information. You just need to stop pretending you didn't hear this. Now, one last pause. Don't think about all 7. Think about the truth that made you the most uncomfortable. The one you wanted to argue with while I said it. That discomfort is information. One word. Because the truth you resist the hardest is almost always the exact one you needed the most. If this shifted something, even slightly, don't stop here. Because what we covered is only the surface. There are deeper layers to money, power, and behavior that don't fit inside one video. Not because they're hidden, because most people aren't ready for them. That's why most stay average. If you're not one of them, subscribe. Every video here is built to sharpen how you think and separate you from the crowd. No fluff, no noise, just strategy. Most people will watch this and move on. A few will stay and change. You already know which one you are.